Today on the channel, we snap into the Savage Land with the San Diego Comic-Con Hasbro 2025 Marvel Legends exclusive.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got something a little bit extra special, as we got the San Diego Comic-Con 2025 exclusive Snap Savage Land 3-pack. But for all your Marvel Legends needs that are not San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, better hit up DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. Gotta get a deal out there. And this was available, of course, at San Diego Comic-Con. That's where I picked it up at. Of course, also sold at Hasbro Pulse. A lot of drama with Hasbro Pulse, of course. It's in stock, it's out of stock, sells out immediately. That's just the way it goes with these things. We've seen it year after year. I guess we shouldn't be surprised at this point in time. But hopefully everybody that wants one of these can get one. As we usually say, a little bit of patience goes a long way with these, as we've seen. But an interesting pack here. Of course, Sauron, a Build-A-Figure once upon a time. A lot of people wanting a new one of this, and now we get it. We'll, of course, compare it and see what changes we have with that one. And then we get Savage Land Rogue for the first time. And then, of course, Shayna, no longer a punk rocker, now a she-devil. So another one here. And this is an interesting pack, because I wonder if these two girls weren't fit for traditional retail, so they went into the exclusive. Maybe, possibly, but either way, it's cool to get more Savage Land characters. Hopefully we get some more from the Savage Land in the future. Can we get that Magneto? Magneto Professor X on the longest walk ever through the Savage Land. We'll never forget that from the cartoon once upon a time. But looking good as a 3-pack right here, of course. Got Snap there, which apparently is, I think, a Marvel mobile game on your phone. I don't have time for games. Oh, no games for me, unfortunately. Maybe when I retire. But an interesting one here. Marvel Legends up top. Gamerverse, which once again, Snap, I guess part of that Gamerverse. Hasbro logo down there. Got their names on here as well. Or I guess the names are on the top is where those names are. You can see that there. Jibber Jabber UPC's Gamerverse. Nothing too fun on the side there. Snap on the side there as well. And that's all she wrote as far as the front and the sides. Now we get the back. I guess maybe something to do with the game, obviously, is something like that. Maybe the cards of these guys and gals in the game as well. Is what it is. Looking very interesting right here. But now I'm going to slide out of the package, hopefully. Hopefully. There we go. We're sliding on out. Got a cool kind of background going on. Heave ho. See you later. Goodbye. And now we got the old plastic prison. And we're locked in with twist ties, all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to take this offline, get these 3 out of the package. See you later, goodbye. And we'll be back talking all things Marvel's Savage Land 3-pack. All right, let's get savage with the Savage Land. But of course, let's go ladies first. And we got 2 scantily clad ladies here. I'm about that, of course. We're going to start off with Rogue, I guess, where we'll go. X-Men member first. Why not? Now, not a ton of accessories with her compared to Shayna. Shayna's a punk rocker. Shayna's a she-devil. It's hard to keep track. You know how it is. But we do get a little knife here. Of course, Rogue got a little knife ready to go, ready to take on the world. It's got the nice gloss plastic on this. It is a little rubbery, though, so take note of that. Brown on the handle there. Got a little knife for Rogue if she needs to do something in the Savage Land, of course. And, of course, got a little spear here. And I believe, is this reused from Kraven the Hunter once upon a time? Would not be shocked to see that. Got some blue feathers here. Probably ripped them straight off of Toucan Sam. Oh, hard times for Toucan Sam. Brown on the handle, silver on the blade up top. We do get that going on right there. But now diving into Rogue. Of course, Rogue, a very popular one. And it was the San Diego Comic-Con of Rogue in her Savage Land attire, as Mondo did come out with a version of this as well. So if you pick that one up, kudos to you, of course. Now, she does got the usual Rogue hair with the white hair in the front. Then you got the brownish auburn style hair in the back there. Looking like a young Miley Cyrus right here. Hannah Montana, for those that know Todd McFarlane, right there in the face. Got a little lips going on action. Looking pretty good. A little teeth going on there. Blue eyes as well. It looks like Rogue, though, especially with the green bandana around the top. She's got a little bit of a teeth necklace there. Of course, you get the teeth of the fallen and you put it on a necklace. Why wouldn't you? You got a little bit of her X-Men costume holding on in yellow, and it's holding on for dear life. Almost torn and tattered off of her there. Green and yellow attack. Of course, huge Oakland A's fan. Even if you're in the Savage Land, you love those Oakland A's. We know how that goes. A little bit of action there on her bicep as well with some of the torn rags. Thankfully, she did keep her gloves on. She's not going to be stealing anybody's power unless she takes those off, of course. Got a little bit of a skirt action there, and then she's wearing some underwear underneath the skirt. So it's good she kept her underwear on and all that kind of fun stuff. We got the skirt around the top. Is it a grass skirt or a torn? I guess it is her torn outfit. Once again, we see it on the thigh as well. She just got a little holster right here for her knife, so you can store that on there. I always like to have that. Now, very unfortunate here. She does come with this spear here. I guess not. Never mind. I guess I'm going to walk it back. I was going to say we didn't get any extra hands for Rogue. I just had him over here with Sauron. That was my issue there. So we got 2 gripping hands, 2 splayed out hands. So she can grip her weapons. At first I was like, wait a minute. Sauron does not come with extra hands. Rogue does. So you got the green hands over here. Going to definitely have to use at least 1 gripping hand for her to hold her spear. It gives her a little bit more fierceness, I do believe. But looking good right here. Down into the boots here in green. Seeing a pattern torn and tattered throughout on here. No holes in the feet on this one. That's an interesting turn of events as well. Articulation, arms do go all the way around. No butterfly shoulder, but you get bicep. You get double jointed, pinned elbows, pinless elbows. Hands back and forth, side to side. Head back and forth, side to side. Hula hoop up top there, looking good. No traditional waist. Got those big old Rogue splits if you need them. Leg goes up for the boot. Thigh cut. Double jointed, pinless knees. Boot cut, and then ankles back forth, side to side. The usual Marvel Legend articulation here, but beautiful pinless joints on this Rogue. A very, very fun Rogue added to our Savage Land collection here. Like I said, be interested to see what Savage Land characters we do get in the future. But that's Rogue. Now we're going to turn our attention over to Shayna, not Sheena, Shayna, and she's a punk rocker too, I am sure. And she gets a little bit more loadout than Rogue. She does got a knife here. Once again, another knife ready to go with Shayna. Got to have that. She does got a spear, and I like that they made the spear a little bit different. Could still be a Craven reuse, of course, but no feathers and stuff on here. Very primitive at the top, almost like an arrowhead going on, and then the brown stick on there. So we got that ready to go. And then this must have been left over from the real world. She just got a big old gun here, got the big scope at the top here. Ready to go. I guess she better save her bullets. I don't think there's any reloading on that, so she does have that going along. And then we do get the same hand combination that we got with Rogue, this time ungloved. You got the splayed out hands, you got the gripping hands here for, of course, Shayna. And now we're diving into Shayna herself. First time in the line Marvel Legend, or at least this style of Marvel Legend, at least here. But looking good here. Very whimsical hair, of course. Looking very, very nice. Determined look on her face. She's been in the Savage Land for a while. She's got to look determined, of course. And they're very much like Rogue. She's torn and tattered in her outfit here. Got a bicep band on. Got a forearm. Got a wrist tape going on. You do got a holster here for her knife as well. Are we seeing the same? Yep, we're seeing the same skirt between these two. Boots look to be different, so that is nice to see a little bit of difference in that. But there is some reuse between these two, but also some non-reuse. She's got her underwear on as well for those keeping track at home. Got the boots down here, got a little fur down there on the bottom of the boots. Articulation can be identical to Rogue, as you can imagine with this one. I don't know who she looks like in the face. Kind of like a young Nicole Kidman, maybe. Maybe, possibly. I'm not exactly sure, but it is cool to get this one here. It's been a long time since we've got the She-Devil in action figure form. I think we got her back in the old school Toy Biz days, though, as when I was a kid. I think I remember this one clanging and banging around the place. Once again, no hole in the foot on here, so take note of that. Made in China for those keeping track at home as well. But looking good. Nice to get a new character for the shelf as usual. And now, last but certainly not least, for some people, the star of the pack and one of my absolute favorite Build-A-Figures we've ever received from Marvel Legend. It is Sauron. I love the Sauron Toy Biz when I was a little kid. Love the Build-A-Figure that they had, and this is, of course, reuse of that Build-A-Figure, which we'll bring out here in a second. There is enough meat on the bone here, I think, for another one. Obviously, you have one in a Savage Land diorama. You have one with your traditional X-Men villains. At least that's how I'm going to do it in my collection. But he is a big, big figure here, and a very creepy one. Of course, my first time with Sauron, I guess, was the X-Men animated series back in the day, and then, of course, the Toy Biz figure. But, man, he was very creepy. How he would hypnotize you and how he spoke and stuff. It was just creepy in the animated series. So I loved the character from the get-go. And then, of course, later on, reading him in comic books. In my remembrance, he wasn't in the comic books a ton, at least when I was reading. Every once in a while, I can only think of like 2 times I ever saw him. I saw him more in the animated series in the toy aisle than I did in the comic books. Now, no extra hands with him here, but we do get a new effect piece here. He's going to hypnotize you. This goes kind of right over the bridge of the nose, kind of over by the eyes. So you just slide that on there so you can have him hypnotizing people. You can use this with the other one, the Build-A-Figure version if you want to as well, but it's a way to make him feel and look a little bit different on your shelf. But nice plastic piece there to use if need be. Now, big old Sauron-like head here. I love the big beak. You got plenty of articulation in it, so you can have him displayed flying through the air if you want to. The mouth does open, showing that big tongue and those teeth. Definitely great for extra personality for him. He's got a big football head as well. You got that articulation in the neck, though, that also makes it just happen, so you can really make it stand out and make it different. If you want him standing or you want him flying, you choose your own Sauron adventure, of course. Big, long arms on him here. You got the curled, kind of mangled hands going on. Big, muscly. He's a muscly dinosaur-type creature. That's what we're going to call him. And then we're seeing a theme here. We got skirts on all 3 of these. Not just for the ladies anymore. He's wearing a torn and tattered skirt here in purple. Different than the last one as well. Got those big old feet down here. Very reptilian-like. Almost what it reminds me of here. Now, articulation, we went through the head already. You do get the hands back and forth, side to side. Single jointed elbow, bicep cut, and then the arms go all the way around. And then you got articulation on the wings, so you can move that back and forth and get a little extra display ability out of this, however you want to do it. Dumbbell up top, plus, let's see, traditional waist. Got the hula hoop. Oh, I'm trying to get in there. No real traditional waist to write home about. Leg does go up. We do get a thigh cut. Double jointed, pinless knees playing all the hits. Ankles back, forth, side to side, up and down. Of course, do got the hole in the foot on this one here. And then we do got the tail, of course, back and forth, side to side. Bendy wire in the tail, so you can move that around. You can change that around, do things however you want to. And it almost looks like he's got a leaf on the end of his tail ready to go as well. But Sauron is a big, nasty individual, of course, and a guy that rules by fear in the Savage Land, as we did find over the years, of course. But a fun one back then, a fun one now with a few little bit of updates. And I do got the last version here. A little bit more detail on the skirt on the old school one. Obviously, the color's a little bit different, a little darker greens in this, where it's maybe a little bit lighter on this one over here. The end of the tail is different on this guy, too. I guess the whole tail is probably a little bit different. So there is some differences here. Not terribly, terribly different. But like I said, you put 2 of these on display. You put one in the Savage Land, put one somewhere else. Might be the way to go to business here with Sauron. But he is a big figure. Going to take up some real estate on your shelf. There's no doubt about it. But he is the star of this set for me, even if I had him before. Really fun, really creepy. For whatever reason, he's a creepy creature, character, whatever you want to call him. I really do like that a whole lot. So looking good here in the Marvel Legends Snap 3-pack from San Diego Comic-Con. And of course, we got a few other friends from the Savage Land fairly recently here. So I guess we're finally building out that Savage Land shelf. We even got Professor X coming to clearance or at clearance right now at about every Target in the country, I think, right now. We need his walking buddy Magneto to join the fun as well. But it is cool to get more Savage Land characters. I'm here for some more of that. We still need a Wolverine from the Savage Land. There's a few other ones. It'd be cool to have some background characters. Be interested to see where this one goes. Be interested to see this Snap thing. Are they going to be more Snap tie-ins? We didn't see anything at San Diego Comic-Con, so is this just it? Be interesting to see how that ends up playing out in the future there. But that is it. That's the Savage Land 3-pack. A fun one, a little bit stressful for collectors. I know how it goes with these San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. I don't know if it's a must-have. It's definitely not the must-have Rogue. I always say that with these exclusives, especially San Diego Comic-Con ones. They're off the beaten path. They're great for long-term collectors, but the average Joe probably doesn't need these ones in their collection, but I knew I needed it. I wanted to take that trip to the Savage Land. But what say you? Did you want to take that trip to the Savage Land? Were you all in on this one? Did you need it in your collection? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day. and then some. And of course, we got all kinds of content on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, KylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is my podcast each and every Tuesday, The Kyle Peterson Show, available where podcasts are found with videocast on YouTube. So for the Marvel Legends San Diego Comic-Con 2025 Snap 3-pack exclusive, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?